lightning, throw thunder in jail. That's bad. Only last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick.
What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Sam Jones. John Fury, get this. I was confronted, says Sam Jones, by John Fury for criticizing his presence in Tyson Fury's corner after the Alexander Usyk fight. Okay? And Sam continued by saying, listen, John Fury pulled me up about it at the Joshua fight, lost to Dubois, he said. He wasn't happy with my comments. I said that there were too many voices in Tyson's corner. I think having three voices all blowing instructions at you is not good for anyone. He said, that's my opinion. But I just thought that you need Sugar Hill there and Andy Lee. His dad can be around because he's his dad. He said, listen, whatever anyone thinks about John Fury, he wants his son to win, right? But shouting different instructions to your son in front of Sugar Hill, who is the main trainer, it's like when my dad used to watch me play football, not very well, he would shout instructions at me that you probably shouldn't say. It's a hard one. But I wasn't saying that John Fury shouldn't be anywhere near Tyson. I just don't think he should be in the corner. That's my opinion. My opinion won't change on that. I think he should have Andy Lee in there, a cut man, and Sugar Hill. That's all he needs, and someone to put the stool in the ring. Okay? Despite the advice, it was only fine margins for Fury, who was only piped on the judges' scorecards by a split decision. But he did come close to being knocked out in the 9th round, as we know, okay? And he also suggested he will not change anyone in this corner, okay? And Fury Sr.'s role believes it is wise of the former champion to keep his corner the same. Too much noise that comes from John Fury, he added. I think Sugar Hill and Andy Lee are great students of the game. They understand the game. They're two good voices that need to be there. Okay. So let me counterpunch. Looking at this article, I mean, it's a pretty lengthy one, but based on what John Fury did to Sam Jones, it shows me that Sam Jones, got approached in a kind of physical way, because Big John, he does his physical things here and there, the headbutts and the eye gouging and all that craziness. He does that, punching up the plexiglass and all that stuff. But in the meantime, I think in this particular situation, he really didn't have much to say. He just said, hey, I don't like the way you talked about me being in the corner, And one thing about Sam Jones is going to express himself, and he's going to speak his opinion. That's one thing I love about him. I've always loved that about Sam Jones. Sam Jones is one of those guys that, what'd you talk about my guy? And he will be in your face, but Big John's a big dude, and he's dangerous. As we know, he's a dangerous guy. He's very violent. He's very high strung, And he's a hard man with a hard road, right? So I think, if anything, he rolled up on Sam, and I think it alarmed him a bit, just a bit. I think it alarmed him. It's like, yo, whoa, because I don't know what he did. Maybe a little body language, or maybe did he grab him or something like that? You probably would have heard that from Sam, but I think his presence alone, that he rolled up on him like he did, confronted, you know what I mean? He was probably at least cornered. You know what I mean? You don't have to really grab someone to show your physical dominance upon someone. You know what I mean? You could corner somebody like, hey, I heard, you had something to say about me. Without even really touching them. You know what I mean? It's just like you could gesture, that touch, And that, you know, that person be like, oh, wait a minute. Why are you up on me? You know what I mean? The closeness of your presence, you know, can be intimidating at times. And I think that's what he probably did to Sam. Sam had to tell him, well, you know, hey, I think it's, you know, it's too many voices in the ring, John, you know. You know what I mean? But I mean, I also think that, you know, John had something to say to Sam simply because, you know, Sam's British and he knows Sam more than likely. He knows him. He rolled up on him, you know. But Sam's right. It's too many voices in there, and it is aggravating to a head trainer, regardless of how that head trainer feels. Okay, I'll do a live about this, you know, because that fight's coming up in, you know, a couple months, you know, less than 2 months. And I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's counterproductive for John to spat out things where Sugar Hill's trying to drill home something, especially in a fight against a guy that's never lost. You know what I mean? And this guy, one thing about Alexander Usyk's dangerous. And he's so dangerous because it's almost like he over-prepares for fights. So since he over-prepares for these fights, it's almost like, well, you know what? He's dangerous because that he's just driven. You know what I mean? That David Goggins type mindset. Like, look, I'm going to train to the point where I know a fighter hasn't trained to. So at that point, I already know that I'm going to win before getting in the ring. I just have to come with my God-given gifts and the blessing from God that I serve, that I believe in, and I'm going to get it in. You know what I mean? And that's what I think, that's the whole package of Alexander Usyk. You know what I mean? He's going to be driven enough to do something that you don't do before he gets in the ring. You know what I mean? And I think that's how he beat Tyson, because Tyson didn't train like that. We hear about Paris and we heard about the cut and, you know, he couldn't spar. And, you know, we're hearing about these things now, which, you know, is kind of lame because we should have heard about them back then. You know, at least it would have been said before the fight. But, you know, of course, that would have, people that already supported Tyson in that fashion would have used that in that case anyway. You know, so, you know, you're kind of damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You know what I mean? So I do think that it happened, but Alexander Usyk didn't have those problems. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think that if anything, Sam Jones was ruffled up a bit by Big John Fury. And so I think to answer people's question, you know, I did a live stream, you know, when I was in the Caribbean, like, yo, where is Big John Fury? Well, you know, he pops up here and there and he's kind of secretly coming at certain people. He's not doing real big interviews or whatever, but the people that he feels he needs to come at, because he's looking at those interviews, he's coming at. And Sam Jones is one of them. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Sam Jones stating that he was confronted by Big John Fury. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.